Welcome to Warblock. Today we're just going to look at anything really. The Korem to Woldia scenario, which is part of the Tigray conflict, is sort of something that's been simmering, but it seems to be quite ongoing. But getting news about it is actually quite difficult. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily. It's difficult. It's a bit. You have to sort of dig down, and I'm quite sort of busy at the moment, so digging down is proving quite elusive. But if you look at Twitter, there's all sorts of things, ongoing. That's interesting. Don't know who that is, but anyway. So I'm just going to play this. It's interesting. The play's up here. So what they're doing is they're sort of coming down here. So the previous scenario was taking these two places. And if we look at that, that's this scenario here, where they come down here and they take whatever is under there and this place. So they take that, and then it says they move on to May to Zabiri, and I put it there, but to be quite honest, based on this map, they appear to be just coming down this road. So there's the two places that we just detailed there, and so May to Zabiri I've sort of put about there. But considering they're coming down here, then maybe it's down here, but they're coming down here and then along here. I've only sort of titled this one to Woldia, which is there, but they sort of then move this way, which is towards something or other, a particular sort of region. This is all still ongoing, and following it is, as I said, a bit elusive. But I'm really just looking to get a video, sort of, to keep that side up, and hopefully we'll be able to sort of, add more scenarios as this sort of develops. But I mean, it's already developing, but as I said, I'm not sure, it's not sort of like in my face, so to speak. So, and there's so many things actually happening that are sort of slipping by. So, but anyway, now I think the situation is, it's not too complex, but I've kept it quite sparse. It made it a bit easier, but I thought, well, that actually sort of looks doable, in the sense that, as you can see, the Ethiopians have got a 113, which is not going to really stand up to anything, but these 333s are sort of bigger nuts to crack, and they've got a fair amount to do it with. But these are all irregulars. But this is artillery and motorized. Well, motorized isn't actually that great in the sort of the broader context. So this is their driving force, the irregular forces. So they're probably going to pound through that, and they'll probably get through this. But the question is, you've got two of these, and you've got this stuff down here, and although they do win, the question is, how will they do this? So for example, we could fall back with this guy down to there, or didn't want to do that, or this guy over to there, or both of them just come down here and maybe bring these guys up to Kobo Rubit to consolidate forces. So now the thing is, if you do that, these forces are not actually that great in defense. So I don't think it's as simple as it appears. And further, let's just have a quick look at the order of battle. Yeah, they've got some air power, but they don't have any support. So that's what they've got. And I think that the Tigray people should win, but I've left it sort of at the level where they might not. So let's see. Now, I think the first thing to do really is to take this out and to sort of demonstrate that. I don't think we need more than 2. I'm just sort of guessing here because I can't even do the maths in my head. It's a bit, but I'm pretty sure I should be able to take this right out. Yeah. But they haven't got any more movement, so I can move in with these, and clearly, I mean, how much movement have we got? 1.8. Now if that was 6, it's going to be a bit different, so let's just make sure we pound this guy. I mean, we should get a DE and hopefully eliminate him. And we just got a DR, so he's pushed back there with 5 depression, so he can recover. And what have we got going on here? Okay, so that's our opening move. So air power, well, clearly we'll probably want to blow this up. But we might want to take these artillery units out. They've left them vulnerable. Let's see what we can do. No. Right. Well, this is a town. Okay. So we now got this big nut to crack. Now, the reason I put the artillery in there is because I figured that they might be able to do something like this. And so they're going to have to whittle it down with the artillery because their irregulars are not going to have any sort of bonus. So it's going to be a big battle here. But the question is how to sort of progress this. I think in the first instance, push these irregulars down here, but with some motorized support, I think. They won't be able to fire. They won't recover. So that's that. So we're now planning what we want to do here. Do we have any impetus left to do anything? No. We need the artillery in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So next turn, I'm going to go for the artillery again because it is actually critical. And I was going to say I was sure that the air power does more damage against artillery, and as you can see this time it's done 3, which is not insignificant, and 2.5, leaving him at 3, 3.75. So his artillery is going to be compromised, weakened. So what else do we want to do here? See, that's worth 5, and they're going to be tough because they're irregulars. Oh, didn't want to do that. I guess you could call that command paralysis. What I wanted to do was to look at what was underneath there. That's what I meant to press, the map. Right, okay, well, that's just tough, isn't it? Okay, well, we don't have much choice. But what we're also going to do is move these irregulars back there, because I think that they will take the heat off the airstrikes. Okay, well, let's just do the airstrike first, see what happens. I think we should only hit 1 this time. Well, no effect, no effect. It's hit that. I think it only hits the artillery if it's on its own, so we've got to get through this now. It's a bit weird, but I think that's how it is at the moment. So, right. Now this is going to be worth 5. Now the best we could do is get a 2 to 1. So what I want to do is get to this artillery. But we see the only mobile thing we have. Yes, I quite often say this, but this is interesting. An interesting scenario. Right. Two point 0.8. So I just don't know what the odds will be here. We need to hang on for a bit. Plus I've got another idea. Okay. Oh, we do get the artillery, look. We got it. And this is my idea. I should have done that before. Well, I think there's only one option here. Oh, no idea what it's going to be. I'm hoping it might be a 1-to-1 and it will give us that attempt an exchange. Okay. Well, I think the Ethiopians should now be able to finish up. Exchange. That might not have been the best move. Exchange. Okay. A DR. Oh, we've got them on the run. Another DR. Oh, this is a classic. A classic game. Oh, they've lost their artillery. But they've taken a pounding. Right. Well, I think it's got to hit that one. Well, he's got to at least make a run for it. We're so beaten there. The thing is, I think we've got to pull back. Okay. Right. Got to keep the forward pressure on. Okay. So we had 3 units in there. Got a DE. So presumably one of these units moved back into that position. Sorry, that position. Yeah. So I'd do a preemptive attack, but this is nothing. The best we can do is just hold. And hope this attack fails. Which I don't think it will. A DR. Maybe we can do something here, but it's tight. Okay. Well, that's it really. We've got an air strike in here, unless we eliminate all of them, which is not going to happen. Not with those sorts of rolls. I think that's it. And I'm going to leave it at that. But that was more interesting than I thought it would be, because I did think that after we took their artillery out, that the Ethiopians would just be able to hold their ground. And I think it's exactly as I sort of envisaged it. It's a subtle balance between one and the other, but with obviously the Tigray forces having the advantage and the superiority in a number of regards, but without it being necessarily an absolute walkover. I can't remember any particular sort of unusual results, although I think there were a couple. I can't remember whose favour they were in, where we got 2 1-to-1s in a row, and I think that was the Tigray forces when they assaulted wherever it was up here. They'd lost their artillery, but they had no choice but to engage in a full frontal assault, and they won with 2 1-to-1s. And so if they hadn't got those, then the Ethiopians would have probably held their ground. And so I think it was finely balanced. It wasn't my intention to make it finely balanced, but it was my intention to sort of provide a sort of minimal amount of force to reflect the situation without it being a complete walkover. I think that would be well worth playing again, and because of the small numbers, very easy to sort of work through, but I'm not going to do it. So again, it's a sort of almost an archetypally perfect game in the sense that I managed to do it in 26 minutes. Yeah, it's sort of interesting. Okay, I'll leave it at that, but hopefully I'll pick up the pace, game-wise and video-wise and everything-wise. But it's still sort of busy days for me, so I'll just sort of anticipate my next sort of video, but I will be back. I'll speak to you later. Cheerio.